Good afternoon. This is another little video on my BMW X5 E70 35D M Sport 7-seater with a pan roof. And this one is to do with those of you who have the SOS malfunction because of the fibre optic. Let's just show you it there. There you go, that. So you put the key in, get the SOS symbol, the SOS, the phone won't function. You basically lose all audio, and it's because of the fact that you have a fibre optic loop for all of the audio visual stuff in the car, and if that is broken by anything not working, then you lose various and even almost all functionalities of that sort. So like no reverse camera, no beeps, bongs, clangs, warnings of that sort, and no music. So this is a little trick you can do to sort that out so that you can replace the component that's broken at your own leisure, and even troubleshoot which one it is that is broken. So here we go. So this is the first time I've looked at it, obviously link in the description and all the rest of it. I brought one that was two, a male and a female. I think it's the female that I need, but I don't know when I'll need the male, so I think I paid $5.99 next day delivery here in the UK from good old Amazon. But here's all it is you can see it's a loop, right? Effectively what has happened is the device, which I think is probably the TV tuner, which is an analog anyway, so it doesn't matter too much anyway, and I would like to replace it with a digital one. So in the meantime I've got no warning sounds and no audio and no rear view camera, which is useful on a car like this. You know, here's me just handling it for now, and then we'll see. It was caused, I think, by sunroof drain being blocked, causing the water to come down the roof pillar and all the way down and make a big puddle, drop on the TV tuner and make it like it was sitting in a bath of water. So that's what I think did it. Doesn't really matter. The point is it would appear that it's that's not working, because that's what's grayed out on my CCC display. This fix, by the way, works on CIC or CCC, so if you've got an LCI E70 it will still work, and in fact this works on all kinds of other vehicles, other BMs, other Porsches, Audis, apparently, stuff like that, but we'll see. But anyway, here it is. This is the thing, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to unplug your device and plug it into here so that the loop is no longer broken. It completes a loop, and then you'll be on your way. It's apparently a very quick thing, so I'm going to give it a go. I'm assuming it's always on, as you look at the rear of the car, it's always on the left-hand side of the boot where I'm going to access this thing. I don't think it changes to the right-hand side if you have a left-hand drive. I don't think it swaps. Maybe it does, but I don't think it does. So it's probably always on the left-hand side. So that's the off side if you're a left-hand drive, or the near side if you're a right-hand drive. So let's get in the boot and I'll show you this thing. So here in the boot, on the left-hand side, as you're looking from the rear of the car, this is this just pulls out the way. I'll put it there for now. And because I had the leak, which was coming, this is out of the sunroof, well, it wasn't coming out the sunroof drain hole there, so it was stacking up and coming sort of wherever it could find its way through, as water does. It dripped down here. There's still some little stains, I think. Came down here, dropped into this tray. It was a puddle of that, but also went down below it. The screws are still out of this. There's little plunger type things, you know, where you lift the pin up and then pull them out. There's one there, and then one at the back there. Those are still out at the moment because I wasn't 100% sure that I'd cured the leak, but I pretty much think I have. But there you go. That, I believe, is the TV tuner that is no longer working. It does. The only thing that concerns me is it looks a little bit big just to be a TV tuner, and it seems to have a fan outlet. But anyway, that's probably the I don't know, the amplifier, and I don't know. Anyway, whatever this thing is, it's this that I need to unplug. When I look at it, it does have a number of plugs. So, interesting to see which one it might be. Let me investigate. Okay, plot twist. If you look, I've unplugged the top plug out of what I assume is the TV tuner. If you look there, those two black ones you see that I'm zooming in on, those two, that's the in and out of the fibre optic, whoops, sorry. In and out of the fibre optic loop. But my little plug thing won't fit that. But I could probably dismantle it and loop the fibre in and out here. Then I definitely won't be able to use this. You know, it might work, it might not work. If it doesn't work, is it because of me, or is it because this isn't what's wrong? This one, so this one that I got goes in behind this trim, never under this amplifier. I don't want to be fitting that one, and I don't think that's what's wrong. I think it's just a bit of a coincidence that when this area got flooded, that this stopped working. I mean, these had drips of water on it as well, but I think it's this. And plus, when you do this fibre fix, when you get the right one, that then is grayed out on the, you know, your iDrive controller. You know, TV function is grayed out, so that's the one that's disabled, can't be seen, and is causing the break in the loop. It points to this being the problem. So anyway, the point is trying to bridge that one, or I'm just looking on this side of the amplifier, this one maybe. I don't know. When I pulled this one out here, and it flashed, I think the right one flashed a little bit of light at me. I'm not sure if I do it again, if I push it back in. Now if I pull it back out again, it's not doing it this time, but it did it. It flashed at me. But the problem is, I can't test it because what I've got here it won't go on this, it doesn't fit. So I think if you're going to test this, these plugs, the only way you can test them is if these plugs are an exact fit for what you're testing. I'm not just talking about male and female, I'm talking about all the shrouds and everything. I've seen people who have cut those away, but it seems that the most useful thing if you want to test is just a loop that can just plug in without any of the plastic on the outside, just a fibre loop. And then you can go through each device, find, you know, where is the fibre loop on this one, where is it on that one, and just plug in both ends. I'm just looking around and see what you get, basically. Anyway, so I'm thinking that it might just be better to just dismantle the loop. There are directional arrows on the loop, but I'm sure fibre doesn't matter which way as long as it plug in. I really do think it is this. Okay, I got on a little idea. So what I'm going to do, there's an arrow. Whoops. If you can see, there's an arrow on there. Sorry about the focus. Can I do something with the focus? There you go. There's an arrow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark on this the direction. I'm going to take this loop off and see if I can use it without the housing. Yeah, and see if I can just do something as like a, what do they call it, proof of concept, you know. Oh, there you go, it's surprisingly easy. There's probably no need, oh, there we go, just pull it. Probably no need to be anxious about it because I don't think it's going to get used. So well, seems that you need most of this shroud. The trouble is, there's like that block that I've disconnected. It might contain other things that are needed. I mean, if it's just the power to the unit, it probably doesn't matter. I thought these were going to plug in, but they're not. The only thing they're going to do, these just mate up to them. So basically, I need to put them back in here because it seems what I need to do is all of the outsides of this has got to come off so that I have a method of plugging in. Well, at that point, if this exact one is the solution for where the problem is, I'll have to modify that as well, put some tape around it or something, or maybe just get another one. So I think basically what I've got to do is cut all of this around so that I can plug the fibre in to complete the loop, and hopefully it won't matter that it doesn't have power to it because it's not getting power in it, because probably the fuse is blown as well as I think the unit's just dead. So really all I've got to do is, because what's obviously happened is the fibre's going into the unit and it's not completing its circuit, it's not coming back out the other side for whatever, because the thing's dead. So here we're just bypassing it by saying, well, just give me a fibre loop. You don't have to run through whatever you run through inside the unit, hence the word bypass. But basically, I need to get rid of everything that's in the way of this plugging in. So I'm just sawing down so I can just find bits that I can peel back. I could probably have done a bit more than I've done actually, but you see around the actual brass or whatever they are, you know, the metal ends, there's like a male sort of connector sort of shroud around, and I need that to sort of seal off when I push them together. But all of this around here needs to go, so I do need to do a little bit more. Don't want to go too far. That's probably perfect what I've just done there. More by accident than anything else. Probably get a blade in there and do some things now if I need to. Don't want to damage the bits that I need, so. See, even if this works in some weird way, it still may not solve the issue for any number of reasons which will reveal themselves one by one under questioning. Actually, at the moment, this appears to have worked better than I perhaps could have hoped. But we'll see. Yeah, because it's a bit weak on those corners, so, or those edges. So that's probably, I could probably flatten it out now. It's probably the first time you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So basically, what I've done now is all the casing around the outsides of this I've pulled away. These male sort of connectors will slide around the fibre that's there, and hopefully that will mean they can just push in and it can complete the loop, and the surround should hopefully seal it up in terms of light. So, because I would imagine if there's any kind of light leakage, if you know what I mean, that may affect its decision that everything's all hunky-dory, because we're just basically, we're kind of trying to trick it really to sort of, we're just fulfilling the requirement. It's basically saying, I'm sending light through to you that's got data that if you can't read it, pass it to someone who can. And then you know, the device that's broken is not able to allow just throughput. So that's the reason for the bypass. Right, so that's that. And it's got to go on those two black ones. There. Well, there you go, that's where I've done it, but if you look, you can see there's just a little bit of light coming out. I don't know if, anyway, it's not working. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm going to swap it around the other way, but I don't think it's going to work. So I've tried both ways with this one up here. I'm now going to plug that in, see if it works, because it's still not working. Well, it's not having it. I've tried all kinds of different combinations. One thing that is happening is that fan is spinning up for a second when I plug it in. I haven't seen one of these for sale for a few weeks, but when I originally did, it was called a TV tuner, and that's what's grayed out on my iDrive screen. So as far as I'm concerned, it's this unit that's at fault, and like I say, you are supposed to be able to bypass the fibre so that you don't lose everything else. Maybe there's some coding involved, I don't know. But basically, this fix hasn't fixed it. Well, there you go. By using Carly and doing a reset on the telephone issues, it sorted itself out. Now, I did run that before I tried this loop fix, and it didn't sort it. So I'm thinking that after doing the loop fix, you need to clear the fault. So it's still showing as my TV is not present, but what I do have now is, and I'm gonna have to do this very quickly because of copyright.
In the first half there, Eastleigh 1, Rochdale.
Eastleigh 1, Rochdale 2, I think it was about to say. Don't know what an Eastleigh is or a Rochdale. Anyway. So there we go. It would seem that I have done it. I've got to make it permanent now. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of thinking, right, sod off now, I want to go and play some music loud. But I'm also sort of thinking it probably isn't going to be the last of it. I'm also thinking that that would probably confirm that it is the TV module that is Donald Ducked itself. And I've got to try and find at a reasonable price a digital one if I want my OEM TV function back. I'm just wondering, actually, here's a little thing. I'm gonna put it in reverse. I've got the tailgate open, but am I gonna get a camera? No. Still not gonna get a camera. Oh, that's a real disappointment. Or maybe it needs the boot shut. I don't know. I think, don't know. It's not giving me any park distance control warnings. I can see it would want to bleep at me, so well, that's it then. So all I've got is my audio back at the moment, but what I've had to do is unplug a whole block connector, which includes the power to the TV unit and a couple of other things. So maybe I might be able to, I don't know, I'm going to figure out some more. I'm going to do a little bit more figuring out, etc. Yeah, so this all works. Now I've cleared all the codes out of Carly, but I don't have a rear camera. I guess the rear camera is part of the TV module. It would make sense in as much as that's handling video, but I think that's what I don't have. But I do now have the bleeps, and I have the audio, I have the auxiliary audio as well. You know, I could plug my phone in and listen to some tunes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this, I'm going to unplug my little fix. I'm going to plug the connector back in and see if maybe the fault had cleared itself anyway for some reason or another or whatever, and I get the video camera back. And if not, I'll just put it back to this until I get another module, another TV tuner. Okay, so I've plugged it back in, and I've got the fault come up again, and I've cleared it out a couple of times and still got the fault. So two things, it would seem then that it is the TV tuner, and that when that's dead, even when you bypass it, you lose your reverse camera, it would seem, which kind of makes sense, but in some ways kind of doesn't, because I guess that means that you would normally expect to only have a rear view camera if you have a TV tuner, or vice versa. They sort of maybe come together. And I guess what that also means then is, if that isn't the case, then maybe there's some TV modules out there that aren't rear view camera compatible, in which case I could end up getting one that's like that and I still won't have what I want. Anyway, we'll see. I'm gonna unplug this then and do the fix. So let's see if I can do this. Basically, unplug that. And plug in. My tripod is indoors. I really don't want to drop anything down there, so I'm going to have to tape that up. But before I do that, I'm going to check that it's working, because it may be directional. I don't think it is. I even feel a bit silly saying that, but it might be. I'm going to check it, see if I've got everything back again. Yeah, I've got the sound back. Sheffield Wednesday. I've got the sound back, and the other thing I was going to say is that I didn't have to clear the code after unplugging and doing the little fix again, because the error didn't come up. I didn't get the chance to, I didn't start the car up. If I'd have done that, I cleared it all out and then went and redid the fix. The system never got to know that something weird was going on. So anyway, I'll try and summarize all of that, but basically what it really means is the loop works. That's great, that's good news, because when you're reversing, if you're using your park distance control, the audible warning is really, really useful as well, because if you're looking around everywhere for anything you might not have seen, every so often you have to look down at the screen as well. So if you're looking around and you can hear the beeps, that's just keeping you insured until it goes a big long beep and you think, all right, stop. So even just having that back, the visual thing is better than nothing, but having the sound with it is great. Having the camera, that would be even better. Probably the next thing I'm going to check now actually is to see if I do put like an Android unit in here. You can get it with a reverse cam option, but I think that includes the camera and the cable and everything. So I'm just wondering what my reverse camera experience will be. In other words, do I need to specify a reverse camera on my Android unit if I've already got one, even though it's not working? But I don't know, cable might sort it out, don't know. So that's another thing I've got to look into. That's not a summary, is it? That's another complicated bunch of scenarios. So sorry about that. Let me try again. Summary. The fibre loop works. There's various different places you might need to test it to see which isn't working. I've shown how to troubleshoot. I was trying to fix it, not troubleshoot. But anyway, at least I know now that 100% the loop can work. 100% TV tuner is not working. So I know what I've got to do. And if you're having these issues and you're not sure what it is, buy one of those loops then. You probably have to cut it up in order to get it to fit. But they're only like 5-6 quid or $5-7 or whatever, depending on where you are in the world. You should be able to find them in your own country, unless you live in Timbuktu or something. Give it a go, see what you come up with, see what you can live with once you solve what you're trying to solve, if you know what I mean. How I got my reverse camera working again. That bit is to be continued, but the other stuff, you can see that it was worth buying. It's got me into a better position. Plus I've got some music now I can listen to. But yeah, TV module, Donald ducked. All right, cheers guys, out. So what I've done is wrap a little sort of cable, not a cable tie because I'll be undoing it, but like one of those bin ties, one of those things, sort of wire, plastic coated wire, and just tucked it out of the way. So hopefully that'll be right when I start the car up in a second. I won't have disturbed anything. Put that back. I'm not going to do it up just yet. I'm going to leave the pins. Put that back. That's basically it. All right. Hope that helps, guys. Cheers.